of our federal government. And Jackson, who grew up during the time of segregation in Tennessee in the 50s and 60s, understands a lot. Actor Samuel L. Jackson recently sat down for an interview with Esquire magazine, where he did not hold anything back when giving his thoughts on not just the current administration, but pretty much the Republicans at the top about what it means to be oppressed, what it means to be treated as not quite a human being. And according to what Jackson told the magazine, he sees those same behaviors.
Trump claims he doesn't know Samuel L. Jackson, but there's just one tiny problem. They've literally played golf together. Awkward. Jackson just exposed this lie on national television, and Trump's reaction was exactly what you'd expect. A full-blown Twitter tantrum with all caps and everything.
Little kerfuffle that you and Donald Trump are in. I just wanted to know, are you surprised that this has become a thing in the press?
The things that need to be dealt with presidentially, he's worried about me saying that he cheats at golf, or that he doesn't really.
But these are his exact words. I'm angrier now about it than I was then.
Let's be real, when Samuel L. Jackson calls you out, you know you're in trouble. The man whose face snakes on planes is now facing down the Orange Menace himself. And guess what? Trump's panicking. His staff at Mar-a-Lago is running around like headless chickens trying to do damage control, while Donnie throws his phone at the wall. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video.
Oh, this. Let me see. Can we get this on camera? Would that be a bill from Trump National? I think it is.
Why do you think he's saying?
I don't know. I don't care. They know me. Is that what the deal is? Wow, that's awful. Let me see. Let me fix that. Let me find something that might help me with that. Yeah, come on. He has to say whatever he has to say. He has to say. You know, and it's one of those interesting things that he called me one day to play golf, not to play with him, but to play with a friend of his. And I went to play with that friend of his, and that friend of his turned out to be Bill Clinton.
Could one simple comment about golf really make the former president lose his mind? Spoiler alert, absolutely. We all know Trump loves to brag about his golf skills. He talks about his swing like it's a national treasure and his handicap like it's top secret information. But Samuel L. Jackson decided to throw a wrench into Trump's perfectly manicured golf reputation when he casually dropped a truth bomb during a late-night talk show appearance. Jackson, in his typical no-nonsense style, mentioned that Trump cheats at golf. That's it, just a simple observation that apparently hit Trump harder than a sand trap on the 18th hole. Because if there's one thing Trump can't handle, it's someone pointing out that his self-proclaimed greatness might be, well, a big fat lie. Trump's response was faster than his golf cart speeding to find his mysteriously lost ball in the rough. He immediately went into full denial mode, claiming he doesn't even know who Samuel L. Jackson is.
I know the phrase he's talking about. I know the voices he's talking about because we still hear it in these areas. Those twangs where they didn't specifically call you N-word. They said Negra, the Negras. You know, as somebody who's lived in the South for my entire life, it's scary because even as a white person, I've heard that. It still exists. And for somebody like Samuel L. Jackson to come out and say, I've lived through this. I went through this. I was on the receiving end of it.
Yes, you heard that right. The former president pretended not to know one of the most recognizable actors in Hollywood, the guy from Pulp Fiction, The Avengers, and approximately 500 other movies. The man whose voice even your grandmother could identify from 3 rooms away. But Samuel L. Jackson wasn't about to let this slide. Instead of getting into a pointless Twitter war, he brought receipts, actual physical evidence. He pulled out bills from Trump's own golf courses showing they had indeed played together multiple times. Talk about a hole-in-one for Jackson. The embarrassment didn't stop there. Jackson revealed they had played golf with Bill Clinton, and Trump awkwardly showed up mid-round trying to impress the former president. Imagine Trump trying to casually stroll up like, "Oh hey guys, fancy meeting you here on my golf course that has my name plastered on literally everything." Clinton and Jackson probably exchanged those knowing glances that say, "Here we go again."
Same racism that people like Samuel L. Jackson lived through in the 1950s is still alive and well in the United States today. It's just that the people in charge, they're not wearing the white hoods. Former Maine Governor Paul LePage saying that the whites are going to be outnumbered. That is a common talking point, and apparently it's been around since the 1950s. And that tells you everything you need to know about the modern day Republican Party. They're wearing very nice suits, going to work in Congress and the White House every single day.
As the story gained traction, Trump's desperation level rose faster than his blood pressure when someone mentions his actual net worth. He started firing off increasingly bizarre tweets, including this gem: "I don't cheat at golf, but Samuel L. Jackson cheats with his game. He has no choice." What does that even mean? It's like Trump threw random words into a blender and poured them onto Twitter. The whole fiasco revealed something deeper than just Trump's golf habits. It showed his absolute terror at being exposed as a fraud in any capacity. Trump wasn't just defending his honor as a golfer, he was desperately trying to protect the carefully crafted image he's built his entire brand on. Think about it. If Trump cheats at golf, a game where honesty and integrity are fundamental values, what else might he be lying about? His business success, his wealth, his hair? Okay, we already know the answer to that last one. For someone who constantly brags about being the best at everything, being called out for cheating at golf by someone as respected and beloved as Samuel L. Jackson is like kryptonite. It's not just embarrassing, it's existentially threatening to his whole persona. The funniest part is that Jackson didn't even make a big deal about it. He mentioned it casually, almost as an afterthought, the way you might mention that water is wet or that the sky is blue. He didn't need to launch a campaign or write a tell-all book. He just stated a simple fact, backed it up with evidence when challenged, and watched as Trump imploded in real time. And that's Trump's greatest weakness. He can handle political opponents. He can handle media criticism, but he absolutely cannot handle someone he respects, a celebrity, a fellow successful person, exposing the truth about him, especially when that truth undermines the very image he spent his entire life crafting. What's most telling about Trump isn't just the denial, it's how quickly his fragile ego shatters when anyone calls him out. This whole golf fiasco perfectly captures his playbook: lie, deny, attack, repeat. And when Samuel L. Jackson exposed him, our thin-skinned former president couldn't handle it. The pattern is so predictable it's almost boring. Someone points out a truth about Trump and suddenly he's firing off tweets like a toddler who missed nap time. It's never about the actual criticism, it's about protecting the carefully crafted image of Donald Trump winner that he's been selling for decades. So the next time you see Trump going ballistic on some celebrity or journalist, just remember, it's not rage, it's panic. Because deep down, Orange Turd knows the truth is his real enemy, not Democrats, not the media, just plain old facts.